What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 24 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. As always, I got Dave and Chris with me, but as you can see, we got a special guest this week, Mr. Evan Willie. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you, boys, for having me on the pod. I'm honored.
How you
I prepped
feeling?
for this like it was an interview.
I like that. Are you nervous? Have you ever been on a pod before?
No, this first time taking my podcast virginity. I was nervous. I've known you guys for a long time, but just gonna follow your lead. Just take your guys' advice. I have a drink. I'm gonna do my best to be tight, as you guys would say, and then I'll just go with the flow.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So we got a pretty full show tonight. We're recapping. We were at a wedding last weekend in Florida. Absolute blast. We're just gonna give you guys a good recap. But before we get into that, I have two questions for you guys. I saw both of these on Instagram today, right before hopping on here. And the two people on this podcast gave two very different answers, so I want to know where you guys sit. Dave, I feel like we've actually talked about this one in our local group message, but one, how often are you guys changing out your towel when you shower?
Oh.
Like, are you like every use you're switching that out?
It's a great question. And I'll give you my answer. So there's a pre-marriage answer and then there's an after-marriage answer. And the answer now is that somehow every single time I take a shower, my towel disappears and it's being cleaned somehow.
Every time?
I can't believe how often the towels are getting done in the laundry. That's
crazy.
I would say it's maybe being washed 10 times more than what I was doing pre-marriage. Like I was washing maybe once a week pre-marriage. And I had two towels that I would rotate, and then you do like a load. And then there was definitely weeks where you snuck to like the 2-week zone, but now they just disappear. It's wild.
I was going to say something similar along those lines. My wife, Vanessa, kind of dictates when my new towel, happens. Like I'm always helping out and everything, but that's not the first thing I would obviously think of. I need new towels this week. But another one shows up. She's killing it at our household, and she's keeping the place in order when, otherwise I would be definitely falling off.
How many towels do you guys...
I'm a once a week guy. Once a week guy.
How many towels do you guys have in rotation, like in your full rotation?
4.
2. I have 2.
Oh, see? Like we have like 12.
Yeah, Vanessa's
that we just like go through. And they're all different.
I've been banished to the basement shower because it started where Chris and I were getting ready at the same time, and our bathroom is very small, so it didn't really work for both of us to be getting ready in there. So now I have to get ready in the basement. So we have probably like 12 towels, but in my basement shower I only have 4. And I'm like every 2 showers I'm rotating that new one, and then we do towels every week.
What is the smallest towel you've ever had to dry off with?
Dude,
has anybody gone like smaller, something small before?
Yeah. Well, and I'm like the biggest guy here, obviously. And so it was at one of the golf trips, and all the towels were gone.
They're gone the first night.
Well, I'm using like a washcloth that's like this big, drying my whole body. I'm like, this is a disaster.
I've had to resort to the floor mat, like outside the shower floor. I'm just grabbing that shit off the floor, and we're gonna dry off that way.
That's just oversized sandpaper. That's basically
that's pretty gross, but I love it.
That floor mat has no moisture wicking properties at all.
No, none.
Absolutely.
Evan, when you get out of the shower, Evan, are you a towel to the hair or blow dryer? Because I need to know the secret behind
He's a blow dry boy.
That beautiful head of lettuce.
Give it some time to air dry a little bit, but I gotta finish with the blow dry.
I knew it.
If I tried not, I'm gonna start looking like an anime character in about 30 minutes. So I gotta keep it, tame, so to speak. I'm actually getting a haircut tomorrow, so this is about as long as it ever gets. But
how much do your haircuts cost?
Like $30-$35.
Oh, that's how much sports clothes
cost. Not bad at all.
I was gonna say, I probably have the most expensive haircut on here.
What are you rocking?
Way too much for my haircut.
80,
no,
60? Yeah,
60.
He goes to he won't say, but he goes to the same guy as all the blues players. So
I do.
That's pretty cool.
That's big time.
Yeah, I'll brag on his behalf.
I mean, I would have said it. I say it quite frequently. But...
it's his Twitter bio.
Yeah, I'm constantly trying to go at like off times. I'm like, let's book a haircut Tuesday at 11 and see if I can run into one of them here.
What do you think we got to do to get your haircut? What is that? Your barber. What do we got to do to get him on the pod? You think?
I could probably ask him.
How far, Adam, do you have to book out in advance for this guy?
Not too bad. I try and do when I get my haircut, like I just immediately book it to make sure I have a plethora of options. But like before Kent and Jordan's wedding, like I'm a pretty consistent every 4 weeks I get a haircut, so like once a month.
That's about where I'm
at. I was on the long end because I wanted to time it up perfectly with Kent and Jordan's wedding. And I was kind of last minute to booking, and I had to book like a Thursday at 5 p.m. time slot because I was really low on options. But yeah, I try and be quick about it because he can fill up pretty quickly.
Yeah,
got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
What's your second question?
Other question for you guys, similar. I don't know if you're just a normal toothbrush or a mechanical toothbrush user, but how often are you either switching toothbrushes or switching toothbrush heads?
Chris.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I kind of just lose it. I probably lose it before I replace it. I feel like I lose them pretty often.
You want me to be honest with my answer? So I'll use.
Yeah, I don't want you to lie to me.
Well, we are a podcast of honesty here.
It's true.
I will use a toothbrush until I go out of town. And what I mean by that is I'll take my regular toothbrush with me out of town, pack it up, and then once I come back, that's like when I throw it away. And I don't really know why.
So are you on a new toothbrush?
Yeah, brand new toothbrush this week.
Love that for you.
Yep. And
it's a good feeling.
I use a normal toothbrush. I got a pack of like 10 like 2 years ago, and I think I have 3 left.
What are you doing when you go out of town that makes you want to throw it out when you get back?
You're just so dirty. You need a brand new toothbrush.
I don't know, but I'm telling you, I do it every single time. I don't know why. I think
weird.
It's just the. No, I think it. No, it's not weird. I think it's
kind of
like,
weird. It's a little weird.
No. I think it's the like act of packing it and it like touching stuff in a bag.
Okay.
Like it grosses me out kind of.
Yeah.
But I have like a metal, like a nice metal toothbrush. So like I wouldn't like throw that away. You get like a new head for it.
I don't. I have a Walgreens 10-pack of like cheap ones.
Yeah, you are kind of a cheap guy.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm a normal toothbrush guy myself. I actually kind of agree to Dave. I think when you're traveling and stuff, you're putting your toothbrush in there. It's still mildly damp. It's still kind of wet.
Yeah.
In those environments, traveling with that, I just don't know how I feel about brushing my teeth again after it's been wet in a tote bag for a couple days.
Evan,
it's like, all right, that's kind of my trigger. It's like, you know what? It's time to take over my oral health here.
Yep.
I mean, the logic is sound. Like I understand what your guys are saying. It's just weird that it's associated with travel.
Did you just call it a tote bag?
You're right. I misspoke. More of a Dob kit, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what the reason I ask is because that's what I refer to it as. Some people will refer to it as a toiletries kit.
Yep.
Is there any other names for it?
Call me childish. I've never heard of a Dob kit. I don't know what the word Dob is.
Yeah, that's outside of my vernacular for sure.
Yeah. Wow, Adam, you've hit us with plethora and vernacular.
You never heard Dob Moran. Dob. That's about Dob kits.
I just didn't know that song was about Dob kits, and it's Barbara Ann, but good try.
I call it a toiletry bag.
But on the clip that made me ask that question, the one guy was like, "I'm swapping it out like every 3 to 4 months," which I feel like that's about the consistency I'm at. And the other guy said he's had the same toothbrush since COVID.
I've seen people with toothbrushes that are like brushed down and like the bristles are all like flattened basically. Yeah, exactly like that. Like that's kind of crazy, but
that thing's not.
You're doing nothing for your teeth at that point.
Listen, let's talk about Dave being a star. That's what we're all here to talk about.
All right, let's get into it.
No.
Is that where we want to start?
I was hoping.
We can't just start in the middle of the weekend.
Sure, we can.
Sure,
we make our own rules.
Whatever. Hit me. What do you want to talk about,
Dave? The freaking star. I mean, in the show notes here, you said I was forced to do it again. So, like, are you sick of it at this point?
We can start from the top if you want to. You put these in the notes. We can start where you want to start. Go for it.
No.
Go for it. Yeah. Too late. Do it.
It is too late. All right.
The show notes say Chris was okay. First of all, Evan's on here too. Chris was late to the wedding, aka he missed the whole thing.
You two.
First bullet point is blatantly blamed Vanessa to her face. Second bullet point is how does this happen? And third, you wrote these show notes, Dave?
Yeah, I did.
I asked you about this before we went, and you explained staying in Miami for the weekend that was over an hour away.
I know, but now I'm ready to put you on blast. I thought it was a good idea until you guys were late.
Yeah, I agree.
You two met. Okay, all right. Let's back up. Let's give some context here. So, Chris, like 3 months ago, sends me a text and says, "Do you think it's okay for me and Alexa and Evan and Vanessa to stay in Miami and then come down to Key Largo, which is where this wedding was, an hour and a half south of Miami?" Yes, exactly. And I responded,
I came to you because I view you as a wise and compassionate human being.
I am both of those things to you. So
so sincere there.
So
I really felt it in his voice.
Thought that you guys would be fine, but it takes some planning ahead of time to make sure you get there on time, obviously. So when the wedding starts, I'm officiating, for those who don't know, and I, no joke, am scanning the crowd looking for you two. And what do I see? Neither one of you. And I'm like, I can't believe it. They just came to Miami for this wedding, and they're not even coming to the wedding. And so then the thing started, and honestly, I forgot about it because I was nervous. And then the wedding's over, and who's the first person I see when I come down from the front? It's you two.
I was there the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So explain to the listeners what happened.
Mistakes were made.
Well,
that's what
our heart was in it. Let's start with there. Let's start there.
Yep.
We had good intentions. We saw it was a little under an hour drive from Miami to Key Largo.
Yep.
We scheduled it out an hour and a half ahead. So gave ourselves about 35, 40 minutes of buffer time just in case. Obviously, you never want to be those people showing up as the wedding is starting.
We go downstairs. And it's the smallest Uber I've ever seen in my life for
what are we working
an
with?
hour-long car ride. I want to say it was maybe like a Ford Fit, like a hatchback.
Honda Fit.
Like a Honda Fit, like a hatchback, but like really small.
Yeah.
We get in this. The Uber driver's like hunched over the steering wheel going.
He was holding the steering wheel like it was like one of those choppers. It's like, this is your own car, man.
He's got the longest pinky nail I've ever seen in my life. And he's like, we're not gonna make it. What time you say this? What time did you say this starts? We're not making it. We got at least 45 minutes to an hour of traffic, and we're like,
hold on. Where's everyone seated in the car? I feel like that's an important fact.
So,
Evan, Vanessa, and Alexa are in the back. Yeah, Evan, yeah. I'm jammed up in the front.
Chris was sitting pretty up front, so I don't know what he's complaining about. I was in the back, getting the draft, sitting next to Vanessa and Alexa. Chris is trying to lighten the mood by having us all play Crazy 8 via Game Pigeon. I'm just like, well, that's not going to make me feel any better. And also, like, Chris mentions what this guy is saying. He's not speaking in English. He's speaking in Spanish to Vanessa, who is then translating to the rest of us.
I don't think I had a single Uber that entire trip that the Uber driver spoke English.
Exactly.
I've never seen it before, but I legitimately think you can live in that city and not know a lick of English and get by just fine.
Yeah, totally. I bet you could. So Chris, you're playing games. Evan, you're sitting in the back anxious. That's what I'm getting
I was anxious.
You were anxious. Okay.
I also took an edible right before we left, though, so that helped.
Okay.
I did not. I did not know that occurred.
I will say, if I were you guys, I wouldn't have come clean.
Yeah.
Like, I would have just, like, in the grand scheme of things, they would rather you be at the reception where you're actually, like, celebrating with them than be at the ceremony.
Yeah, we were keeping an eye on the time.
Like, I don't think they would have noticed if someone didn't rat you out or if you didn't go up and expose yourselves.
I exposed myself.
Chris, okay.
If you wouldn't have done that, they would not have noticed. I guarantee it.
Yeah, because Chris, you showed up, and that was the first thing you told Kent.
Yeah, I just don't trust any of you rats out there. You guys would have told him right away.
I would have ratted you.
It would have rather...
The girls would have ratted us out. Like, we would have been dead. Get ahead of it.
It's better to come from you, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think...
I told it, I just said, listen, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how it happened. It's unforgivable, honestly. I missed their beautiful moment on the beach.
Explain the car ride. So, like, what happened during the car ride? Because you were, like... telling Vanessa it was all her fault. Why was it her fault?
All I said was it wasn't my fault because I didn't even I wasn't involved in the time slot choices of anything. Like I wasn't involved in the math.
Vanessa's the one who scheduled the Uber, and we all agreed on that time. But because of what happened, it is Vanessa's direct responsibility because her name is on the Uber.
That is not standing up for your wife.
I love my wife. She is a rock star.
This is a podcast of integrity, and he's sticking to it. I freaking love it.
Yeah. So
I would have made the same mistake, but it wasn't me this time. So.
Are you scanning the room, making sure?
We were checking the time. We saw it was going to be mid-ceremony, so we were trying to okay, we can't just walk in mid-ceremony when Dave's doing his thing. It was really the Dave show, let's be honest. And
the worst part was we got there and everybody was standing up and walking around and it looked like nothing had started yet. So we get there and I'm like, oh my God, we're good, guys. They haven't even started yet. We're good. Because no one was sitting down or anything. I was like, we're good. We made it. We're good. Nope. It was over already.
Nope. I will say, partly in your guys' defense, we started 10 minutes early, and Dave rattled through it in about 12 minutes. So
yeah, exactly.
If we would have started at 5 o'clock as expected, it honestly might have been worse because then it would have been like you were saying, you'd be walking in mid-ceremony, which I think is a worse look. I think that's a worse look than missing it altogether.
Well, that's kind of where we were at.
He's listening. So Kent, from me to you, I sincerely apologize, and I will make it up to you somehow, someday. If it takes the rest of my life, I'll do what it takes. What about
Jordan? Are you going to make it up to Jordan also, or no? Just Kent?
I don't know if I can make it up to Jordan, but I'll try my best.
Kent and Jordan, I sincerely apologize. I'm embarrassed, quite honestly. I've heard it was a beautiful ceremony officiated by a golden god of a man, and I just hope
God.
This next chapter in your lives. I know you guys are in St. Lucia.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I just hope you can ride off into the sunset knowing that we did have the best intentions. Those crazy 8 games, that boxcar, we went through a lot to make your ceremony, and we definitely celebrated amongst the wind and everything.
All right, let's talk ceremony. Or let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk ceremony.
Reception.
I was nervous all
Okay,
that.
yeah, ceremony. Okay.
Yeah. So, this is the first time I'd ever officiated a wedding.
Yep.
And, Adam, you were with me all day. I was pretty nervous about it.
I would say, leading up to it, you're like, oh, I'm fine. And then, day of, just that entire day, you're like, I'm getting a little nervous. It's starting to hit me a little bit. You started slowly realizing the magnitude of it, and I could tell it was getting to you.
Yeah, it was. But I went in there and I started. So I had this whole outline in my head, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do a welcome. I'm going to make a joke, pretty quick. To kind of lighten up because at a wedding, and a couple of people pointed this out to me after the fact, at a wedding, especially the parents and stuff, they're kind of nervous that their child's getting married. And so it was like, all right, I'm going to lighten the mood like immediately, or like kind of lessen the tense, like amount of tenseness in the room. And so started out with a joke, then kind of had a little heartfelt, like 30-second little thing, then made another joke, and then we had a reading. So in my head, I was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. So I get in there. The welcome was basic. That was fine. My joke hit. Like, everyone laughed, and it was good. I gave the heartfelt part, which I got nervous during the middle of, because I was like, I'm being serious right now, and I'm not like the most serious guy all the time. And then I made my second joke, which got everybody laughing. And then it was kind of like this like feeling of relief after that, because I was like, all right, this is the parts that I memorized. I'm done, whatever. And I just blurt out, I think we have a reading now. And like, so then the girl that did the reading, she like walks up, and I'm trying to get the microphone off. And Kent said he looked at my hand when I was getting the microphone off, and I'm like shaking like that. Like, no. I was like, ah. And so she does the reading. Well, then the rest of it, I had like a script, because it was the vows and the ring and all that stuff. Well, we didn't practice reading the vows during the rehearsal. So I start in on the vows, and I read like the whole first sentence, but Kent has to repeat after me. And so I read the whole first sentence, and then put the microphone in front of him, and I look at him, and he's kind of staring at me, and I just go, like, I just like started laughing.
He audibly made a noise, and like, hats off to Kent, because he got it. But yeah, Dave was like, I, Kent Skiles, take thee, Jordan Eller, to be that you're off, and then like it was like 25 words.
It's like when you walk in a classroom and the teacher asks you a question and you haven't even been paying attention, and you're like 17, and they're like, that's correct. Like, amazing.
But then it was great, because he definitely overcompensated for Jordan after that. He was like, I, Jordan Eller.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. That's a good save.
Yeah, exactly. I overcompensate. So we do the vows, and then it's like the ring portion. And in my head, I'm like, we are already at the rings. And after the rings is like, I now pronounce you husband and wife. I was like, I feel like we've only been up here for like 4 minutes. Like, we're moving way too quick. So again, in my head, I'm looking at my script, and I'm just staring at it. And it's like, I mean, it was like literally 2 seconds, but I'm like staring at it, and I'm like, I got to like buy some time. And what I blurt out is, well, now we've reached the ring portion of the ceremony. And I'm like, gosh, I'm such an idiot. Everyone starts laughing again. And so then, like, that was fine or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. It's over. Like, we're done. So I just pronounced them husband and wife. They kiss, and I didn't even say, you may kiss the bride. Because they just kiss. And then I'm like,
they're not officially married. You never said that.
I know. And then
I'm not officially married either. The Jabelinowskis are. I'm not married.
Yeah, the Jabelinowskis are.
I can't believe that guy.
It would have been so funny if you just slipped in a hold for applause, like at the end of one of the segments. You're like, and now we've reached the ring portion of the ceremony. Hold for applause.
Exactly.
And just
like what's in parentheses, just read it out loud.
You now take a look to section F of your brochure.
Yep.
Exactly. Can I please point everyone to page 4?
But I will say I was a little bit disappointed, because you were saying you were going to do it. Everyone please stand up. I wanted you to say all rise, but you didn't do it.
I know. I was going to go all rise, but I didn't do it. I was like, this is a serious,
not your day. Not your day.
All in all, you did a great job, Dave. And like, people knew, like, that's not something that...
It's not easy.
It's not something that friends often have to do, and you did a great job. I think people realize, like, by you not delivering it, like, flawlessly, it was more laid back. Like, people were laughing. I think Jordan and Ken obviously got a kick out of it, because one of their closest friends married them. So, all in all, you did a great job. So,
yeah. Well, thank you.
It's more candid, it's more real, it's more memorable for them.
Exactly.
And, I mean, I saw multiple people going up to you after the ceremony, Dave, like saying how great of a job you did. So,
dude, I was shocked. Like, and Kent, he's an avid listener, so he won't get insulted by this. But Kent is a very straightforward guy. Like, he's always going to be honest. So he pretty much told me after, he's like, yeah, I thought it was a little all over the place, but then all these people told me you did a great job. So I was like, I guess you did a good job. It's like, thanks, Kit. Appreciate
if
that,
the people are happy, that's all that matters.
That's funny.
Yeah, how about stamped wedges as groomsmen gift?
I was going to. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, that's just an elite.
I feel like he set a precedent now for Sam and I are next. I feel like I'm gonna get some that's be like, this is ass. What are you doing?
I can't wait for you to get me my
amazing
driver.
But yeah, honestly, everyone gets custom drivers. No, but I'm glad you brought that up because before we get into the reception, I did want to touch on this. We took some of the most uncomfortable wedding photos I've ever taken in my life.
They're terrible.
Like, I've been in a couple weddings at this point. I'm sure you guys have all been in a couple weddings at this point. Like, photos I feel are never like that natural. Like when Chris and I did our engagement photos, like it's weird. Obviously more so when you're the center of attention than just being like a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But like there was one, he was like, all right, act like you're talking to each other, which anytime you do that, it looks just so unnatural. Where if like before he said that, we were literally just standing around talking. And if he would have just been like clicking pictures, they would have looked great. But because then he's like, all right, now act like you're talking to each other. Everyone's like, ha, 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 ha. Like, so forced, just doesn't look natural at all. And I'm going to stand up for this because this is hands down the most uncomfortable photo I've ever taken in my life.
They are ridiculous.
As David just mentioned, Kent got the groomsmen that enjoy golf. Not all of the groomsmen did, so he got them super nice watches, custom wedges. And so the photographer's like, I want to get a picture of these guys with the wedges. So first off, Kent's not even in the picture. It's just the groomsmen that got wedges. And we're like standing on like this rock that's like over the water, like awkwardly spaced out. And before we even took this picture, he had us take like what looked like an elementary school, like Baldwin Athletic Association photo where it's like, all right, put it behind your back. So we're like standing there with like the wedges behind our back, like looking awkward. And then this photo. So he's like, all right. He's like, stand up and like act like you're about to swing a golf club. So like we're all standing. Let me get far enough away here. It's like act like you're gonna hit it, and then he goes, all right, now look back at me. So it's just us like acting like we're about to hit a golf ball, and then just
we're looking back at him. I'm like, that's going to be the worst photo.
And we took probably like 5 different look back at it photos. That was this photographer's bread and butter. Like, we did one, he's like, all right, like everyone's walking away from the camera. And then instead of stop, the photographer kept saying frozen. Not stop, he'd just go frozen. So we would all stop moving. And then he goes, now look back at me. It's like half of their photos are just going to be like the guys just like looking over their shoulder. By the end of it, I was getting into it a little bit. Like I was,
the photographer's the only movie he's ever seen is Zoolander, and he's just blue steel every time.
And then one of them was just like we're standing there, and he just goes, "All right, best pose," and we were just like,
"What does that mean?"
I heard about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best what are you talking
pose. About? Like I didn't know I had a best pose.
So, Adam, what you said about act like you're talking, I will say our engagement photographer had the best line ever, and it got the best photo out of us ever, because she goes, Chris, I want you to lean in and whisper your Taco Bell order into her ear, and the smile that crept onto my face from that was just perfect, because I was like, Crunchwrap Supreme, Cheesy Gordita Crunch, nachos, I get it all, girl.
So I've heard that, and then I've heard like sing lyrics to a song in her ear, something that's like comically unnatural that it makes a genuine laugh.
Exactly.
Versus just like, all right, Adam, get super close to her face. Now, Kristen, act like you're laughing, and then it's just like,
yeah.
Classic.
The photos were wild. The photographers were interesting. We'll see how the photo. I mean. Maybe they're going to be great photos, though. We just don't know.
I'm excited to see these come out, honestly.
They're going to have to slim me up, though, based on the amount of photos that I have looking back over my shoulder. Not a good angle.
The entertainment,
one might
though.
Argue the best angle.
The entertainment during the night, though.
The DJ?
No, the singer.
Let's talk. Hold on, we got to talk about the DJ, too. So the DJ... That guy, that was the best wedding that DJ I think had ever done. That guy was into it. Did you see him?
Yeah, he just is like, I don't think so. I think he just generally probably goes through every day like that. Like, he literally was like Chad and JT, the most California surfer DJ guy I've ever seen in my life.
Frosted Tips, like, was fist pumping.
It could be like a slower song, and he was.
Exactly. He went Facebook Live.
As soon as that reception moved its way into the tent, I think that guy was licking his chops because he knew like it was his time. He got everyone in one area. You got no choice but to dance to the shit that I'm playing right now.
Exactly.
He was having a good time. I was happy too. Like obviously it's not their control, like with the weather and everything. It was a little windy. I wore a short sleeve shirt to a beach wedding. It's regrettable, but he was my saving grace at the end of the day. It was a fun time. It was a lot of dancing. My quads were sore the next day. I don't know about you guys.
Glutes.
Working the glutes, working the quads. It's its own leg day.
The vocal cords. Those were a little sore.
But now to the star of the show, though, with Dave, bringing tears to my eyes.
Wow. All right. So that was not expected. Well, like I didn't think.
How did it happen? How did it happen? Tell us how it happened.
I don't think.
Do you even know how it happened? Because there's no way this wedding DJ all of a sudden is just like, I'm gonna hit the folks with Tennessee whiskey.
Exactly. Like that's why it was so unexpected. Because
was it you?
It was me. What are you talking about?
I didn't know that.
Yes, I made all that happen.
No, you did not.
I literally said my buddy here has to sing. And I went up to you and I said Tennessee Whiskey is the perfect song to sing.
You didn't tell me that.
What?
You didn't tell, because I'm like chilling, hanging out, dancing, and all of a sudden I see Claire Olson hand me the microphone, and Tennessee Whiskey comes on.
And simultaneously, I feel like everyone just naturally formed a circle around you,
which was
without knowing what was going on.
I know. I felt like it was one of those things where everybody was in on it except for me, because the song starts, and all of a sudden I'm standing in the middle of a circle.
But everyone just kind of naturally knew Dave's about to do something stratospheric here. You got to give him some space.
But like, so anybody who knows me knows that that's like my karaoke song. So like, Chris, if you planned all that, like that's spot on, because I sing that song.
I coordinated it. Maybe I don't know. It's a little hazy because I definitely didn't go get the microphone, but I feel like I could have coordinated with Claire and been like, "We got to get Dave to sing."
Well, as soon as the song came on, there was a microphone.
Maybe I'm just an idiot.
No, I believe you if you did.
You just want it to be you. You're just willing it into existence.
But
I feel like I was involved.
I feel like
the
song comes on.
The song comes on, microphone in hand, and I just kind of went with it. Like I don't know how I knew. Like I didn't have any words. I just sang the song, and I don't think I messed it up.
No, you did perfect. It was amazing.
Do you remember doing it, or did you just kind of like black out and then all of a sudden it was over and everyone was cheering?
I remember the whole thing, but I remember. Oh yeah, like I'm singing and then I hear like commentating also throughout. It's like you're sweet, and then I hear someone go, "How sweet!"
That was just me over and over again.
And every time there was a break, I'd go, "He's single."
Yep,
you got a nice car.
He's a lawyer. I heard that in the middle, and then like I'm like singing the song, and then like I'm looking around, but I had those sunglasses on, and they were so dark. So I'm like kind of looking, but I can't see anybody very well. But like everyone's like cheering and all that. So I was like, I guess this is going well. And then
it's nice knowing that if we just give you the mic, you just run with it, because you like so many people are making you do it that you won't say no, because I keep telling you that you're going to sing Chris and I's first dance song. And now I just know if we just give you the mic, you're going to be forced to do it.
Yeah, but I don't know all the words to every song like that. So
you can pull up the lyrics on your phone.
Dave's made to be a star. That's how he just, all you need to do is give him a mic.
I've been saying that since day one.
I mean, at a minimum, I'll set you up for maybe a different song, but at a minimum, because you did it at JT's wedding. You just got up on stage and took the mic. This one was more forced upon you.
Yep.
So at some point, you have to sing at mine.
I mean, JT's wedding, I was rocking Eminem.
You were?
I did.
You've done that back to high school.
I know.
Even like going back to like the Marquette basketball games, everyone would sit down, you would stand up, do a nice vibrato, and that was arguably the most effective thing this team ever did.
Dude, the first time that happened was the most incredible. Like, our entire student section sat down. Dave's the only one standing. The kid shooting the free throw, Dave starts going, and he just backs up, starts laughing, and rolls the ball back to the referee. And he missed both free throws. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And the guy, I mean, I don't know how we, like, got that either. Like, I don't know, like, how that started in high school.
Just what's a bummer, too,
start
is
singing
like,
opera.
If we were born a few years later, that would have all been captured on a cell phone and saved forever. But we were just a little bit ahead of the curve, and we weren't recording everything back then.
There has to be, like, because the student sections were all on one side, so on the other side there had to be someone from either of the schools like filming the game for like tape.
Yeah.
It like the video has to exist somewhere.
Oh, somewhere. Not accessible though. Not. It's probably like Ryan Blake's dad's basement on a VHS
Parkway
or
South,
something.
Parkway South probably has security cameras in the gym. Like there's got to be something. It's out there somewhere.
Someone's Razor like sidekick or something.
Motorola Razor video.
Just spend 3 days calling.
Because that started as me just singing like one note of opera to turning into me doing the whole intro to Lion King.
Yep.
Like that transformed over time. But I don't know.
It's how a star is born.
I guess. But enough about me. Let's talk about the fact that we have some good dancers on the pod right now. And it's just a known fact. Evan, Adam, both of you, in different ways, are incredible dancers. Like, Evan, you have this, like, tight little, like...
The body waves that Evan can do are incredible.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And then, Adam, you can do
our skills
anything.
match up well, so when they're both going on the dance floor at the same time, it's electric.
I know. And Evan, you and Vanessa, when you guys start going at it, like, I mean, it's like a
little salsa.
Oh yeah, show. I got to show my cultured, my ability. I've been married for over 3 years now. I got to know something. I can't speak Spanish still, so I'm, slowly but surely learning the language through dance, of course.
Oh, you can speak it through your hips, though.
Exactly. That's all I need.
And your hips don't lie, actually.
They don't.
So.
They freaking don't.
When that song came on, too.
They've never told a lie.
But, I mean, it's incredible. And, I mean, that leads me to another question, and I think I put it in the show notes, too. So, Evan, Vanessa is, she is of the Latina, Hispanic.
Guatemalan, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct.
See.
And so...
See.
So, have you ever talked to her about the fact that, like, Despacito comes on, right? And
yes,
every white person loves the song Despacito.
Despacito.
But no one knows the words. Yeah, like no one knows the words. Is that offensive or like what's the deal?
No, not at all. In fact, it's kind of funny. Like the more weddings we've been to, I've kind of noticed. I think it's subconscious. People don't like actively try to do it. But like anytime a Latina like song, like whether it's Bad Bunny or something like that comes on, I feel like people start kind of taking glances at her, like almost trying to like take cues from her. Like she just magically knows like what dance to do or something like that. And it's flattering. It's pretty funny. So I just like go with the flow, but I'm like, hon, like you're the representative here. Like you got to show what Guatemala is like.
That just sadly that just shows the lack of diversity in the front group. But
I know.
No, but I mean, it's hilarious and it's like flattering. Like she has fun with it, and like it's fun to like dance with her, like and all that. Even if I pretend to know what I'm doing, I really don't. I don't know how many dance classes she's taken, but she definitely knows a lot more than me about salsa and marimba, like all the different dances. So
yeah,
but it is funny. Like once those start coming on, I'm like, all right, hon, like this is your time.
This is your time to shine.
Take the lead.
That's her moment. That's her Dave's Tennessee whiskey.
Exactly.
It's Despacito. Because I will say, Despacito came on, and I ended up right in between the two of them. So. Yep. I am the problem. Or the positive. I don't know.
Or the solution.
You're the solution.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say.
I just get the hips. I get the hands going. That's all I do. I don't even try
really
and sing the words.
I'm just happy to be there.
Just activate the hips, give the people what they want a little bit.
As long as those hips are fluid, that's the only criteria.
Oh, yep. Adam's got those loose hips. Woo-hoo. But, so, Evan also, I have another question for Evan. Evan's the guest, so I have just questions going. So, you mentioned earlier you had a short sleeve shirt on, right? The style on this man is impeccable.
Well, I took a risk.
He's been ahead of the time for some time now.
It's true.
Exactly. So explain to the listeners how you decide what you're going to wear to a wedding like this.
Yeah, it was actually pretty practical. I obviously had never been to a beach or destination type wedding before. I kind of looked it up. It's easy to kind of get ideas. I'm like, I don't have any sort of light colored suit. I'm not trying to buy a new suit or anything just for like this one wedding. I don't know next time, I'll be at something like that. So then I kind of start going in, seeing what can I even make work here. Yeah. And I was actually pretty worried for a while. Like I just, I know it's a more casual thing, but like wearing a short sleeve shirt to a wedding, I'm like, I'm going to look like an asshole here. And like, I even thought about like texting Ken. I'm like, am I going to, look like an idiot, stuff. I did text Chris. I'm like, I was worried I was going to be underdressed ultimately, but I think Chris gave some wise words saying, you're going to look different, but like that's how you always like do. That's kind of my signature thing, right? Like
that and being late, which
right.
Those are your two signatures.
Yes, I operate on my own time. Again, it was out of my control at this point, but I just kind of did that. I'm like, you know what, this looks nice enough, looks formal enough. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anyone. I'm just going to kind of go for it, and that's kind of been my mantra since going back as far as you guys have known me. And honestly, it was a pretty big hit. Like people were like, "Holy shit!" Like I love the shirt, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, like I'll just kind of roll with it, and it's like I just need something that I'm mobile enough. Those pants, by the way, were my suit pants that I wore in high school. I was squeezing into those things, but you know what? For almost 30 years old, I was pretty proud of myself there.
Love that.
Yeah.
And I was mobile enough to where my pants aren't going to rip. I can still dance around, do my thing. So, again, it kind of came from just necessity. Like, what can I make work without buying a whole new suit for this thing? I think you guys all looked really sharp. The groomsmen suits, by the way, were extremely sharp. I was jealous of those.
We got to buy those, so now I have that. Right. That's just a part of the wardrobe now.
Yeah.
I can't wait till
that's
the day
awesome.
I get to
those look really nice.
Roll into court in a tan suit. The judge is going to love that.
Yeah. But I was worried I was underdressed ultimately. So I'm glad it worked out. The only thing that, with the wind and stuff, it got a little chilly, but after, kind of a liquid coat being established throughout the night, it worked itself out.
Moving under the tent was also a savior, for sure.
That was huge.
Yeah. No, that's good. I liked it. I thought it looked awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just trying to impress you, Dave.
Chris, you're all smiles over there. You got something you want to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say one of my highlights for the wedding was a very small and simple moment, but it was perfect. And it was Jordan's dance with her dad. When they started dancing, and she looks back at the DJ and she goes, louder, turn it up. And I was just like, you tell him, babe. I loved it. It was awesome.
Babe, you tell him. Oh, no, that was great.
Makes sense. It's her night.
And it was ridiculously quiet. He had no volume on that.
What was he doing?
Yeah.
You couldn't even hear it. I thought I was going to have to start singing then also.
Just give Dave the mic. He would have brought it home.
Going back to that DJ, I feel like his ceiling was really high. He had a few mixes in there where the transitions were right on point. I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing. And then there were some other times where he would just go completely haywire and transition into some song that was not even a transition. It was almost
he's like I'm going to take any time where he thought about taking a risk, it didn't work.
Right. Yeah. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You had like a flow, you had some momentum going, and then all of a sudden now you're playing complete different genre. And yet he's still going hard, doing his whole like
biggest smile ever.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, own it, man. But like, I just feel like his ceiling, like if he kept that going, like that could have been legendary.
Like he's like, all right, I got Hips Don't Lie. The people are going crazy.
Right.
I got Mr. Brightside. People are going even crazier.
Easy.
and do the twist. Like what are we doing here?
Yeah. Exactly.
Did I do the twist for the entire song?
Yeah.
Sure. But once again, like the dance floor separated at that point, and yep, he's still up there though, like, which is not an appropriate move to the twist. But he was given A+ energy the entire time.
Yes, agreed.
I've been to a couple weddings with some bad DJs, and like he was solid. I'd put him middle of the pack, maybe upper middle. Yeah. And because he kept a high energy, it made it better. Like if he played some of those songs and was just like pressing the button, like stepping back, walking away from the table, but he was a part of it the whole time.
He was letting people up there to DJ.
Other people get behind there. Yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah.
Chris at one point told me to go up and DJ, and I was like, no, like why? Why are you asking me to do it? Was he actually
didn't have his keyboard?
Yeah. He didn't have his
keyboard. It wouldn't have been him.
Yeah. You couldn't go into the portal.
You don't use another man's DJ.
I tried so hard to let him get him to let me have Dave sing "Friends in Low Places" at the end of the night, and he wasn't about it. He was like, "I gotta go. I gotta pack up." So.
And I also said no. I was like, I've already sang one song. I also don't know the words to that one either. All the way through.
You should learn that one.
Blaming all on my roots. I showed up in boots.
Yeah, I think that's perfect for your register.
Yeah, but I would have not known anything after like the first 2 lines. But no, it was good.
One song did it enough. That's all you needed to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got the job done.
You guys stayed in Miami after, so you went back. You guys left and had to Uber. Like, how long was the Uber back?
The same hour, at least.
Was there traffic on the way back?
No, drive back was infinitely faster than the drive there by at least an hour.
What all did you guys do after Bobo, Sabrina, Kristen, and I left? Because Dave, I know you left. A group of us went to brunch. Solid brunch. I thought the food was great. Cocktails were solid.
Sunday, y'all went to brunch.
We went over to Miami Beach. Walked the boulevard there, like saw the volleyball courts. Then we went down onto the beach, walked the beach for a little while. There was this huge like food convention, like that Guy Fieri and Bobby Flay were putting on.
Sponsored by Food Network.
Yeah, it was like a big party. We didn't go in it, but we were walking by it the whole time. Looked pretty cool.
You think Bobby was there and Guy?
Yeah, probably. It was our mission to see them. That was our mission to see them, and we did see them at the end. It was on a sign, but we counted it.
On a sign.
Saw their faces. It was so funny because it was like
Bobby giving that smug,
Bobby Flay had this like smuggest like smile on his face in the like banner that we saw, and he's like, and I was like, of course he's got that sly smile.
I've always heard Bobby is kind of smug.
Yeah,
I've heard he's
probably.
Yeah. But my favorite role of his is in Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off Disney Channel movie.
Great movie. Great movie. Wow, throwback.
Good reference.
No, but we did some more exploring. We went to like the Art Deco district. We saw the Versace?
Versace mansion, like the OG.
Was it Versace?
Yeah.
The Versace
the guy was
mansion.
Like off in front of his house and stuff.
Yeah. And then
There's
we went
a Netflix special about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to a really cool sneaker store, and then we went and watched the sunset, and then went back. Changed
Your
and we went out to dinner.
Looked phenomenal.
It was unbelievable, dude. It was so good. I got garlic king crab chow mein, and it was unbelievable.
That sounds
the sushi was so good.
The vibes at that place just looked awesome.
It was awesome.
It was so
every place there has a live DJ, no matter how like casual or like upscale it is. Which I love that. Chris actually recommended the place. It was called Komodo, kind of like a Japanese fusion type place. And everything as you can imagine, Miami just so fresh. Drinks were amazing.
Dave, beer
was amazing.
They have a Peking duck that's cooked for 3 days and then freshly crisp right before it's brought to you. Then they have like 20 of them hanging in the window when you walk in.
That's what you walk into.
They look unbelievable, dude. Yeah, they look so good.
Dude, that's making me hungry.
I know. Wow.
Got some electric sushi, some nigiri. It was all
Well, I saw.
Oh my god, the beef dumplings too. The
Wagyu dumplings.
Wagyu beef dumplings. Oh my
How expensive was this meal?
It was up there.
I bet it was.
On the bougie end, but it was a great way to like end the trip. It was our last night there. It's like, you know what, we gotta go for it.
I don't know about you guys in particular, but that's one thing that like Kristen and I probably spend the most of our money on is like we like good restaurants, we like going to nice dinners, and like
absolutely,
I've never once left a dinner of that caliber being like I paid too much money.
Yeah,
like I'm never disappointed.
Nope.
Yeah. Those places you're paying for more like than the food too. It's the experience, right? They're not trying to like rush you in and out. Like you're there for a solid 2 hours. Like you remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Vanessa and I are on the same exact page. Like, you know, we like to splurge on like the, you know, every other week go to like a nice dinner in Chicago and stuff. Because you remember like good stuff you ate, you know, cool atmospheres. Like they're all really good about the service and kind of how they portion everything out.
Yeah.
It's worth it for sure.
So, Chris, I saw on the social media machine that you made your way up onto a stage. Is that true?
I did.
So explain that.
There was a stage and it was open. And even though you don't think so, I think I'm a pretty good dancer.
I didn't say you weren't a good dancer.
Oh, you just didn't include me in the good dancer
you
list?
in the good dancers.
Okay. I see how it is. So they're like they're an elite tier, and I'm below them. I guess that's fine.
They're elite, and you're very good.
That's correct.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
No, I mean they were rocking, and so like they would do this thing where they battled the bar, and the bar would have like a trombone behind it, and they'd go back and forth, and he's like begging people to come up in front and dance, and I was like, someone's got to go dance, and he kept looking right over at our table, and he was like, you guys come dance, like someone stand up and dance.
He could see the look in your eyes.
Every song he finished, he'd look over at us and be like that wasn't good enough for you? Like, what do you want from me? And so eventually I was like, all right, I gotta give this guy what he wants. He wants me up on stage. Go. I'm a man of the people. I'll do it. So got up there and cha-cha a little bit, and then it went great.
You guys knew Chris as well as me. I was waiting the whole time for him to finally like pull that. Like finally it happened. The stage was not even open. He just kind of opened it himself.
No, he told me to come up there.
Whatever.
He literally grabbed my hand and pulled me up there.
You were like, I'm going up on that stage in front of all these people.
This is very traditional, authentic, like Cuban music too. So we're not talking about a DJ or like guitar, like drums type band. We're talking about bongos, trumpet, like a old-fashioned bass, you know, stuff like that. And Chris was doing his thing up there. So, I mean, props to him.
My hips were moving.
He got a pretty big applause.
You played a little trumpet in middle school. Did you get behind the trumpet a little bit?
I would have rocked the world with the trumpet, dude. If they would have put a trumpet in my hand at that moment, all my knowledge would have come back to me in that one moment. I would have just rocked a solo.
Delivered.
You would have played like the 8th grade concert song that you learned.
Make Mr. Wilhite proud.
I could probably play like the first scale we ever learned, like dun 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 dun.
The equivalent of like hot cross buns, but on the trumpet.
Yeah.
No.
Brian Chan would have showed up out of nowhere behind the curtain and with his trumpet.
Just destroyed me. All right, boys, we're running low on time. Should we stick in wavelength?
Yeah, we're forcing it.
All right.
We're forcing it. So I know Evan's an avid listener. He knows the game, but we're going to explain it just in case anyone's listening. They've never heard this game before.
He's not an avid listener.
So we played this for a while. People loved it. We love doing it. So it's called the wavelength game. What it is, we're going 1 to 20. I'm going to ask a series of questions, and Evan, Dave, and Chris, you have to give an answer that falls on that 1 to 20 scale. So like, let's say I say, what is the best, or what's a candy bar you want to get on Halloween? 1 would be like the crappiest candy bar you would want to pull out of the bag, 20 being the best candy bar. I'm going to look away. You guys are going to do a random number generator. You guys are going to have the number. I'm going to ask the questions, and you have to try and lead me to that number. Make sense?
You get it? 20's good, 1's bad.
20 good, 1 bad. You guys know the number. I don't. I'm going to ask the questions.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, we're going 1 through. We're doing 1 through 10.
Just 1 through 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, 1 through 10. Chris, give us a number. Adam, close your eyes.
Okay, hold on.
No, I know. I'm just telling you. Are you generating that number?
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Here it is. Hold on. Don't look at him. Okay.
Okay.
It's quite a number.
1 is bad, 10 is good.
1 bad, 10 good.
Got it.
All right, Adam. Hit us.
Evan, one of these questions is specifically for you.
Can't wait.
And I'm going to rattle it off right off the bat. Best team to play with on FIFA 13.
And
can we specify like a league?
Yeah.
Or are we just saying holistically?
It's club team, best team to play with on FIFA 13.
LA Galaxy.
Okay.
Okay. Chris, you have an answer?
I did tell you guys I was going to ask this question knowing that you guys weren't avid FIFA 13 players.
Yeah, I know.
You never said that.
He did say that.
We're being specific to FIFA 13, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You said the Galaxy?
Yeah.
I'm going to go... Chelsea. FC.
Those seem vastly different to me.
Okay.
Bad answer.
Bad answer. I'm so much better at acting than you.
I'm going to go more along like Evan's lines. I'm going to go with Sporting KC.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. I thought, okay. So everything is ever opened?
Yeah.
So
they just have to be a club team.
Can I go like Red Bull Salzburg?
You sure can.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Now I feel like I have a good idea of where on this 1 to 10 we are.
Okay.
So my next question I'm going to hit you guys with is foods you want to eat when you're hungover.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Okay, I'll go with the chicken pot pie.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go with a breakfast quiche.
Oh God.
I was okay. I was kind of thinking like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Next question I'm going to go with is wedding songs.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, I think I got one.
Go for it.
No, actually, someone else go.
Evan,
still thinking.
I am too.
I got mine. Mine answer is going to be Big Yellow Taxi by the Counting Crows.
Okay. Right.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'm going to go with Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Sweet Caroline.
Okay.
Who are you looking at, Dave?
I will say, knowing the answers that you guys have given at this point, I can...
Bad answer.
No, I can see... I'm on Evan's wavelength. We're on the same page. I know what he's going for there. I feel pretty good about it, but I am going to ask one more just because I always like to do 4. Yep. Places you've visited.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Good answer.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Shout out, Sam.
Okay.
Shout out.
So, I'm gonna talk through what I'm thinking here. So obviously it's low. I'm thinking like 1-2 low. Because FIFA 13, if you're picking any MLS team, that's just a recipe for disaster. MLS teams are like 2.5 to 3 stars. All of the players are slow as dirt. So we're already low. A chicken pot pie and a quiche. They're not giving the chicken pot pie is giving you some substance, but that's like the textures maybe a little off-putting, probably not what you want. A quiche, definitely not what you want. Wedding songs, I hear the way you guys were thinking, Chris and Dave, with like their slower songs. They're not really getting the vibes up. And Evan was going more the direction like it's almost like a YMCA or like an electric slide that it's like stereotypical, that it's maybe not what you want. Like that's not everyone's cup of tea. You don't want everyone. It's just stereotypical,
Sweet
not necessarily what
Caroline.
you want. See, but I put that on the line. And I know Dave does not like this song as like "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey.
I was gonna
like,
say,
yes, people will sing along, but it's just like overplayed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's had its time. We can move on. Then
I was gonna say that.
Places you visited, you guys picked some just like pretty meh. Like they're not necessarily exciting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's as bad as it can possibly be, so I'm going to go with 2.
It was 3.
Very close.
3? Okay.
It was
3.
It was 3.
Shoot.
Oh, disappointing.
Honestly, Raikkonen, I cannot find any flaw in the logic that you just laid out there. Like you were pretty damn close.
I mean, the Galaxy. So I looked it up. So the Galaxy were 3rd in the West in the MLS that year.
I know, but you are looking at soccer as a whole.
Yeah, right. I know. And Sporting KC was a little bit better.
Like in 2013, the MLS was like bottom 5 leagues that were probably even available on FIFA 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, so that's where my thinking was. It's like it's the MLS, so that knocks it down to like 4 below. And then putting the LA Galaxy, one of the better teams within the MLS, they still might have had old Landon Donovan at FIFA 13. It's like, okay, it's not going to be the worst it gets, but like it's not ideal.
Yeah. What would you have put at a 3 for a team from FIFA 13?
Yeah, can we hear your answers to all of these? What
absolutely.
3 would be?
Yeah.
So a 3, we're probably looking at like Queens Park Rangers. They're a team that like straddle the line of, they haven't been in the Premier League for a while, but for a while they're like straddling the line between relegation and promotion. So they're like my Premier League 3. They're not the worst possible team. At that time,
how would you have felt if I would have said Newcastle?
Newcastle in 2013. I
thought they were relegated at that point.
If I was going Premier League, I would have said like a Fulham.
Yep, I think Queens Park Rangers in 2013 is exactly what Fulham is now. Like they're just constantly bouncing relegation, promotion, relegation, promotion. Foods I would want to eat when I'm hungover. I think you guys did a really good job there. The only one I don't know if I would agree with is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just because it's not like I don't know, the texture of quiche would not do it for me when I'm hungover. Specifically for me, when I'm hungover, I like greasy. So like I get like Raisin Canes a lot, like chicken fingers and fries. Some of my lower answers when I was thinking this, like oatmeal would be horrible.
Yeah.
Like a salad. Nobody really wants a salad.
Yeah.
Right.
Wedding songs, I was actually on kind of the same wavelength as Evan. Like I would have gone like electric slide, cha-cha slide. Like, yes, most people do dance to them, but they're like stereotypically on people's like don't playlist. Like they don't want those songs.
How would you have felt about the Cupid Shuffle?
See, same boat.
Objectively good songs, but in that setting, overplayed, cliche.
Yep.
It kind of ruins the momentum. Like, say that wedding, like down, they were playing like Chris Brown and, Despacito, and then all of a sudden Sweet Caroline comes on. It's like, well, what do I do with this? What do I do with my legs here?
Exactly.
Chris disagrees big time.
I do think you guys did a fairly good job with places you visited. Chris, I think Fort Lauderdale might have been a low one. I've only been there once, but I had a pretty good time personally. I think the problem, I think you guys gave great 3 answers, but I was already between 1 and 2 off of the first question, just because the MLS is so low in soccer at that time.
Yeah.
Chris, you got no volume right now, my man.
You think Fort Lauderdale should be ranked higher than what I ranked it?
I think so.
Yeah, I would have given Fort Lauderdale about a 4 or 5.
I would have
given it at least
generally
a 5.
Most of Florida is a 3 for me.
So I think the problem is I've only been to Fort Lauderdale on the boys' trip, and it was an electric time.
Well, that's just because we have a blast with the boys.
What would you give Miami, Chris?
Like a 8. It was pretty sick.
Yeah.
What would you give Key Largo?
Key Largo, I've actually stayed there before, and that's like a solid 7 or 8. It's for vacation. It's a good
Naples?
spot. Yeah.
Naples, my grandpa lived there. It's very geriatric, so that's got to take it down a few notches. But I'd say a solid 6 or 7. They've got some nice beaches down there.
Okay.
Listen, guys, we're no stranger to a podcast that goes a little bit over the length, but what do you say, just because we have Evan on, I got a song queued up. Can we do a 3-way lyric battle real quick with one song? And
just
then we
one
end
song?
Just one song.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, So Evan, the way this works is I read it off one lyric at a time. I'm going to go on my screen. So it's going to go Evan, Adam, Dave, one lyric at a time. When you get the song, you have to sing it, and you have to give us the name of the song and the artist. And you're getting one lyric at a time, and then it goes around.
Okay.
One word at a time.
So the first lyric is I, you're like, I believe I can find.
Okay, you guys ready?
Like, no. And then it goes to Dave, and it's I. Blank.
This is going to expose me.
Okay. First word to Evan is remember.
And if you don't have something, you can just pass. You don't have to try and come up with something.
After remember, do you?
No. Okay.
No.
Adam, the next word is the.
Remember
the.
I was thinking of Jay Sean. Shut the fuck up.
Do you? I don't have it. Pass.
Okay, Dave, the next word is old.
Remember the old times together.
Nope.
Old friend.
All right. Evan, the next word is arcade.
Remember the old arcade? What kind of song is this? What?
This pinball
it's gotta be like an 80s song, right?
Do you just do it to us again?
Yeah, I think you did.
The old arcade. Bye.
Nope. All right. Adam, the next word is blue. BLEW.
What?
Yeah.
That changes everything. Remember the old arcade blue.
Wait, how did you spell blue?
BLEW.
Like the past tense of blow.
Got you. I thought you said BLEU, like blue cheese.
I don't have it. Remember the old arcade blue.
I don't think any more lyrics are going to help us with this one.
Okay.
Should we all know this song?
I think I know.
I think Dave might have it. The next word is every. Come on, Dave. Come on.
Remember the old arcade?
Blue every dollar we ever made. Like I'm saying us hanging out. And then somebody went and burned it down.
Gives the first girl I kissed. Photograph.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have gotten there.
I would never have gotten that.
Great answer, Dave. Wow.
This was supposed to be my game, and I did not win in the grand scheme of things. And I am still bitter about it.
Well.
I love that song.
Adam?
Nickelback.
Do your thing for us here, pal.
We almost went to a Nickelback concert.
If you would have started with a different lyric of that song, I feel like we would have had a better chance.
Well, the first word is look at this photograph.
Yeah, we would have had it.
And what the hell is on Joey's head?
What the hell's on Joey's head?
Nobody knows.
Damn it,
Nobody
Joey.
knows.
Oh,
well, Evan,
man.
I hope you had fun. We had fun. It was great having you on here.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent
this was
addition.
A blast. Honestly, I'm honored to be in your guys' presence. This is a fun time. Let's do it again.
Love it.
Cheers, pal.
I love that.
Love it. As always,
cheers.
That's Nightly Nonsense. Cheers.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
Cheers.
Avita Sein.